guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Victoria.
And I'm Rachel.
And we're Twintorials. We're going to be doing our kind of favorites over this last year. It seems fitting for the new year. So if you're interested to see what kind of products that we use, then just keep on watching.
Eye category, although this is not a category we have almost anything in. I know on YouTube we're known for our love for eyeshadow. We were on Instagram as well. Just in terms of makeup, that was something we really loved, was eyeshadow and dewy skin. Both those things have kind of changed. I like dewy skin, but I like natural skin. And I don't wear, well, I didn't wear eyeshadow for like the last
a while.
For 2 years.
Not a ton of it.
Very rarely. Really the only thing that has captured my heart, stole my love, captured my love and stole my heart. I don't know. This Kaleidos Quad, is it cold brew? I don't know. There's no name on it. It's just lacy. It's this light shimmer is really like what really did it. Plus this lightest matte brown. They're so fair. And so if you just do those two, and you can use this medium brown to deepen it up, but it's just
it's solid neutral quad.
It's a solid neutral quad, and it's very light, so it's not too like wah.
I had a couple of eyeshadow products that really like stole the show. I didn't like stop wearing eyeshadow completely, but there just wasn't anything that I was consistently pulling for aside from like these 3 items, and they're all similar. This is, oh, I can't read the name, it's all rubbed off.
Apple pie.
Oh, okay. She can read the name. This is a ColourPop shadow stick in apple pie. It's like a bronzy color with a little bit of purple in it. Apple pie is a weird name for that.
I agree.
Yeah, I wouldn't have named it that, but it is a good like one shadow, and these lasted really well on me. I've always I keep wanting to pick more up, but I don't want to buy them for the sake of buying them. But these last on my eyelids like with or without primer, so that was a big point for me. The other one is the Auric Temper Shadow. Both the cream and the powder sparkle topper thing have been like deeply loved and used by me. I would say this is like a 2-year in a row favorite. I'm pretty sure this was in like our last favorites video that we did. But the only other eyeshadow thing that I've been using the most is this Glam White Ice Cream Dream Palette, which might have ended up in a different favorites video. I've been pulling this out a lot for my eyebrows. I always have. If I wanted to try a colorful brow, I've gotten into this one. This year has been a little bit, or this past couple of months has been about the greens, but like I used to use this hot pink up here sometimes. I used this pastel for a while.
Yeah, I used Cookie Monster and Honey Lavender for my eyebrows too.
Yeah, so it's been very loved. Also this, I like having an icy white, like just a straight white shimmer, and this has it. So it's a palette that I pull into a bit for like companion things.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, broken in there. L'Oreal Voluminous colorful mascaras.
Pretty fire.
Pretty fire indeed. They're really good for eyebrow gels too. If you have like dark colorful hair. I had like a dark purple, and this.
I was using this red for that too.
Yeah. These are so good.
I was also using the blue for that, and the green.
The blue's a little like way more intense than the other shades involved. So pretty much if you're gonna wear any of these 3 shades, it's gonna look like almost like an off black once you're done with it, which is kind of why they're so nice. They're like a pop, but they're so subtle for the most part. Outside this blue, this one's nice and vibrant and opaque. It takes a couple coats, but we generally would use these with like a mascara primer. We use the L'Oreal Voluminous primer,
or the Milk one,
or the Milk Makeup Primer, and those work great, but these are just so good. They're so good. I love the colors. I wish they had more shades, but they're just my favorite tones. They're not bright, and they're not gonna look freaky like the ColourPop BFF mascaras. I remember I bought a couple of those thinking they'd be so cool, and you put on like the bright blue or the bright yellow, and you're like, why do I look like that? Like you can just do
I kind of had a love affair with a few different cream shadows this year, but I used a lot of About Face shadows. Not a lot, like these specifically. This I've been using for my brows, and I think I will be pulling into these for my brows from here on out, because they... Let me rewind. There's a problem that you sometimes run into when you do colorful eyebrows, which is where you want kind of that opaque eyebrow color. Well, my brows are kind of a brown color, right? So I have to cover those up. If I cover it up with a like gel or like a white primer of sorts, they get like too thick, you know? If I like really coat my brow hairs in that, they get thick and chunky. And so when I go over them in powder or any other thing, it just looks like a mess. And I find that these cover my brow hairs pretty well, not fully, but pretty well without doing the clumping. Like I can just like, I take it out and I use it literally on the applicator and I just like, and it kind of slicks down my brow hairs and holds them in place. So it's been really functional for me in that way. But I really love the baby pink.
We're about gone of the white.
This white is almost out.
It's a great eyeshadow primer.
It's a great eyeshadow primer. It's a good foundation mixer even if you want to like really amp it up as far as coverage and longevity goes. And this one is just it's a lighter pink than it looks even in this tube. And so I just find it's really unique. It's the only thing that's closest to like that light pink in the Huda Beauty palette.
Yeah.
But it's just really good. These are my 3 favorite colors for sure.
KVD Beauty. Is it KVD Vegan Beauty? Is it Vegan KVD? I don't know. KVD Beauty? KVD. Kat Von D. Super Pomade. Whiteout 100. So good.
Really good.
I've used this quite a lot since I bought it. At first I bought it and I couldn't get the use out of it because at the time I was bald and my eyebrows had grown back. I plucked them pretty thin shortly after our removal of YouTube, I guess, after we left YouTube, and I prefer them thin, especially with the short hair. I think it looks way better than the thick eyebrows, and so I let them grow back in, and when I bleached my eyebrows with my bald head, it didn't feel good, it didn't look right, so I didn't really get a lot of use out of this until more recent months. But I think it's so good. It stays in place all day. I have a tendency to wipe my eyebrows just randomly during the day. I'm like a scratch, and I'm so not used to wearing makeup still, and so I just scratch all over my face. But this stays in place really, really well. I don't have any issues with it. It does coat my brow hairs really well, similar to like the About Face shadows like she was saying. I don't generally I don't do like an opaque brow. I normally do like a dusting of a light purple or a light blue to like tone it to match my hair a little bit. But I love this stuff. It lasts all day, and I like that they have like more unique colors in this line. I tried it as an eyeshadow primer, don't do that.
So the only 2 like favorites I'd say concealer wise we had this year was with the NYX Bare With Me concealer. We used the lightest shade of this for
We lost
concealers.
ours last we were on YouTube.
We lost it and then we found it.
And we lost it again.
And then I believe we lost it again.
Freelancing, I think, though.
Yeah, I think it was after freelancing. But this is one of the best like coverage products that has come out in a minute.
It's
like
so
this works
smooth.
good as a foundation, as a concealer. It shears out really well. It builds up really well. It's a hefty price tag, I feel like, for a concealer. At like $12. But it's really, really good. And I find that I need like half a pump for concealer. Just like half a pump on your fingers and like,
Right.
let it sit for a minute and then blend it out. The other one is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer.
My bitch.
It looks like maybe we're like scribbing on the side a little
That's
bit.
crazy. We had this before while we were on YouTube, and we
didn't like it back in the day, but now
we were using too much for sure.
Probably. It's been working out pretty well for us, and you don't need a lot. It's heavy coverage, and then this is a super, super light shade. I think this is the lightest shade. Oh,
yeah, Cloud.
Yeah. OMG.
It's an extension. It used to be Swan, and then Jackie extended it to Cloud. I think it was in Jackie's extension.
Oh, I forgot about the extension. I was making up names when I was.
Well, that's why I bought it.
Video.
So I was in Ulta, like, I need a new concealer. I don't know what to get, and I was like going through all the influencers in my head, and I was like, I don't know that I have any that I trust that I can think of a concealer off the top of my head. And I was like, I don't know, Jackie I likes the Born This Way. Let me get that.
Yeah. There is a lot of product in this, so it kind of helps because it's still going to take us a while to use this up,
right.
and that we can see a little bit of progress on the side. There's still probably half left in here, but it's a really good color. It blends out really well. It also lasts well on, like, it doesn't break up on my skin.
Right. It will
and
last through a storm if set with a powder puff.
I was going to say, it's not super finicky with powders either, and some concealers you do, especially like tacky ones, you might run into that issue where they mix weird with powders. This one, I don't find that because it dries down to like a satin.
I have a couple foundation products, but I've had ever since I bought this shortly after my Too Faced purchase, but not the same day. This is the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation in the shade Siberia. I almost said Sierra. Siberia. I love this shade. This is like one of my best shade matches ever. Once it when I first put it on, it looks a little like this little light, but like once it settles down, it pretty much just warms up into my skin tone, and plus bronzer and all that. It works out. I think that this formula is beyond beautiful. I will say if I'm super dry, I have to use a sponge with it. It's pretty good with a brush, but I have noticed especially when I'm doing not YouTube videos, like Instagram videos, I'll notice because things are a little bit sharper in the cinematic view of the iPhone camera, I'll notice that it looks a little bit streaky while I'm blending it out. And it takes me forever to blend it out when I'm dry. So I like it with a brush or a sponge, but when you're dry, use a sponge 100%. But this lasts really well. It's not overly matte. It's not overly dewy. It's a nice, just like solid, natural finish foundation. And it has a really good amount of coverage. NARS pumps are really tiny for whatever reason. Like one pump of foundation is going to cover like your forehead. But I really only need like 2 pumps for my whole face. Sometimes I'll use 3 if I'm really feeling spicy, but almost never. Right before we left YouTube, Salt New York released the Sneaky Balm, and we never had a chance to do a review or talk about it because by the time we actually got it in the mail, because there was a lot of like backlog and whatever, by the time we actually got it in the mail, we were gone. We were off of YouTube, Stevie had been born, we were overwhelmed, we were out. The Salt New York Sneaky Balms, this would be the second round. I don't know. Second or third round of these that we've been through. And I guess I don't want to say we.
I used them at the beginning of the year. I stopped using them once I got my Juvia's foundation because I wanted to use
Did you pan them out?
I panned 2 of them out, yes. In different shades.
Okay, so
I panned 2 of them out.
Yeah, because I was tan. I had tan shades, and then we had fair shades. So. Yeah. I used both tan shades up, you used 2 fair shades up. I'm almost done with these 2 fair shades, so that would be 6.
And I think we have some more too.
And yeah, I love this formula.
It's just perfect.
It's so good. It is balmy. It's fairly dewy, but it's not too dewy by any means.
No,
it's not like stretch or anything like that. But the shade range is beautiful. The shades chosen are beautiful. Specifically, the shade N13 is my favorite. N12 was the first one she had, but N12 is a little bit peachy and a little bit dark, just barely, but like it is once you compare it to N13. At first, N12 was like the most beautiful match. No, N13 is where it's at. But I've had such a love affair with this brand for so long, as you guys know. I just love Salt New York. They're so good. Their products are good. They blend seamlessly. Great owner. 10 out of 10.
As far as like cheek products go, I feel like this year I mainly panned stuff. So I did finish up Kaleidos Ray Rider, which was like my favorite highlighter this year. So that's gone. I don't have that to show to you.
What bronzers did we use up? Salt New York Contour.
Yeah, I didn't use a lot of contour this year, I don't think.
Yeah.
I might have used 1 Salt New York contour up, but I don't think as far as bronzers I had any extreme love affairs. I did really like the e.l.f. Putty bronzer for a while, but I've been like dabbling out of that just to pan. And again, most of my usage has been for panning purposes, so I don't know that anything has been a full favorite this year as far as a bronzer goes. But I'm on the hunt. This, however, this blush from Onside, this is the Alva Flower Blusher in Little Jasmine. And oh my god, I used so much of this. You can't tell. But like, seriously, I used this blush for like a year straight. Just kidding, more like 6 months. And then I was using my AOA Hush cream blush or whatever. And that one was my other favorite. But it's like a really warm, rosy tone. Like, it pulls really well with peachy looks too, which I didn't expect. Like, it's more of a fall blush and a summer blush, which it's rare that you find something that versatile, you know? It looks good. It looks so good, and it's like bright, but also like a little toasty, a little warm, you know, a little summer, on my skin tone anyway. And I just feel like a swatch doesn't even do that justice. It just looks so much different on my face.
Oops. Okay, another Salt New York mention. Just quick, sorry. I don't know if we still have a code. If we do, it's Twintorials 10.
Yeah, I doubt it's active still.
But their blushes are some of my favorites. I purposely put them away and will not be touching them for a while because I would like to get through some of our other cream blushes or powder blushes or something, because Salt New York is, again, my ride or die. The shade Maple was my ultimate favorite this year. This is maybe the most
oh, it's so good.
beautiful blush I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. So I'm so sad that it's put away right now because I just want to use it. It's such a good shade. It's basically like, kind of like if Spice was like diluted and warmer. Fuck, I love Spice. that was just continued, so we're not gonna mention her. And then the shade Sunburnt was another favorite. I didn't use this one near as much, but it does still have a good dip in it, so I can tell that I definitely loved on it. And I'll put this one next to it, and it's a much more like red undertone, but Kiki actually put like a video up on Instagram, and she got a sunburn so she could compare it to this color so she could see if it's the right color, and it matched it pretty well, and I thought that that was hilarious. So I love these two shades specifically. And then this AOA Pawpaw contour stick is stupid good.
It is stupid.
It's in the shade Nude. It's just a little stick. It's like, you know, the little Kim K stick she came out with, but just like the contour side. And it's so good. It blends like a dream. It's not like, it doesn't remove your foundation or anything like that. It doesn't pick anything up.
It's not too pigmented.
It's not too pigmented, yes. There's an Essence one that's pretty fucking pigmented that we've been using. And this one's just not as bad. And he stopped swearing. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I really like this. This is really good. I'm passionate for a moment, I guess. And then lastly, really quickly, I just wanted to mention that we have been liking powder. Now I have a few to speak to like more recently that I've tested out. So like I got the Fenty Lavender powder, and I really like it so far, but I need to use it a little bit more before I can call it a favorite, because it does some things sometimes that I don't always like.
I personally actually really like the lavender powder. More than I thought.
This Kaleidos powder in Kaleidos Symphony Face Illuminator in Light.
Now you can show it. Turn it around. All the crumbles fell out.
I just dropped all the crumbles. I was saving them. No.
There's two.
Oh, let me see if I can shake them off into the pan. Anyway, this powder, sit back up, when set with a powder puff, using this powder, with that Too Faced concealer, it's not even funny how nice it is. It's not even funny. That is the most beautiful under eye I've ever achieved in my entire life. I would like to go back to that, but I'm almost out of this powder, so I might order more, but I was thinking I might just ask Kaleidos and see if they'll send it to me, and then I'll order more if they say no. So, and then the Wet n Wild Photo Focus loose powder. I wanted a loose powder because I haven't really found a pressed powder that like tickles my fancy, because
Is that the Kaleidos one?
Well, like for all over face, I mean.
Oh.
All over face pressed powder that tickles my fancy perfectly well. The L'Oreal one was pretty good, the Infallible. I liked that one a little bit, but it was still a little bit like thick because it was a foundation powder. It had coverage. So I wanted something thinner, but I didn't want like an HD powder. So I ended up buying this Wet n Wild translucent powder because I was like, I kind of want to try baking again, whatever. I like this quite a lot. It does tint you a little bit yellow and a little bit darker, which is why I like everything on my face to just run a little bit light. So when by the end of things you're a little bit darker, it like balances out. But overall, this is a really solid translucent powder. I couldn't speak to how it performs on deeper skin tones, but I don't really know if it would have a super intense cast. I think it might buff out okay. I don't know. But I like this. It's just so smoothing. It doesn't ball up really weird at all. That's what I love about it. It's compatible with almost everything I've used it with. So it's solid. It's like $5. It's big.
It doesn't smell like Cody Airspun.
Right, it doesn't smell like Cody Airspun. This was where we had some love affairs.
This is where we did have some love affairs. I'm not going to mention any specific shades, but the Kaleidos lip clays have just like been part of my stuff. When we stopped wearing eyeshadow, or at least stopped wearing a lot of it, like again, I was pulling in for one shadow looks with like bronzes. or like rosy tones. That was about it. So I always went for a semi bold lip, not like a nude with a lip liner, but just like a blanked out lip, you know? So I pulled into the Kaleidos ones a lot, but the ones that I pulled into, dare I say, the most, maybe even about Face Beauty, these fucking vinyl inks from Maybelline. Rachel just got me this one. It's what I have on today. And I do like this one, but I did encounter issues earlier today, so I don't know about her. But the ones in Witty and, what are you, like Charmed or something?
I want more new shades.
Lippy. 10 Lippy and 40 Witty. 40 Witty specifically.
Oh, my favorite.
Oh my gosh. It's a rosy tone, but like, as you can see, it's a lot more like purple than this one, but it's not cool toned.
It's not.
It's not cool toned by any stretch, but it's the perfect rose tone to go with like very specific
like a neutral
things.
rose tone.
It's a very good rose tone to go with my very specific rosy bronze color preferences. It lasts
so well
all day. All
without getting crusty.
day. Does not ball up, does not get crusty, does not crack. It doesn't look vinyl all day necessarily.
Right.
But
It could use a
does-
touch up, but it lasts beautifully.
It does. It looks beautiful.
It
and it's
fades
so
beautifully.
comfortable.
You know, it
It's
doesn't like peel.
So comfortable.
I fear these are not even all the shades I have. These NYX Shine Loud lipsticks, I don't think we even bought them till after we got off of YouTube.
No. I don't think
Oh my good God, I didn't believe any one of you on YouTube. Not a single person.
I know. I was like, those are too good to be true.
Y'all are bullshit liars. Now I will say, oh, this one's not. Accidentally grabbed her. I will say that if you have chapped lips, it's worth skipping over them until your lips are fixed, because no matter what you do, they're going to be pretty crusty. Like, even with the gloss on top of the liquid lipstick, your lips are going to peel all day. It's going to come off. It's going to look bad. So that's just kind of how lipstick is. I would say go with the gloss if you don't want peely lips. But anyway, I specifically the shade, please say this is Global Citizen or Gold Crusher, which one? Where's the name? Global Citizen. It's neutral, maybe leaning cool brown.
It's right on the
Just ever so slightly leaning cool. This is the most gorgeous brown lip
cusp. It's
ever.
a good one.
It's so good. I love this shade. I'm almost out of most of the nude shades, quite frankly. This one's really peachy, but I still love it as well. Anyway, all of the shades that you can get are probably worth it. I need to buy like any one of the nude shades that I don't have still, but I'm just kind of waiting because I've literally bought, like every time I saw one, I'd be like, grab another. Because I love the formula so much. I love having the like holiday, like darker, you know, colored lips too for this formula, because it lasts through pasta.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's good. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love it. And then I have a couple other honorable mentions. And I bought this when I was still on YouTube, I think, Gucci Lorna Doone.
Yeah, from who recommended? Hannah Louise.
Hannah Louise Poston recommended it. And she was right. And she was right, yes. It is a beautiful, almost grayish pink lipstick, but it's not too fair. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't pull too warm, so like, hold on. Here is MAC Myth. This is a recommendation I had asking on Twitter for a good
Nude for fair skin.
Nude for fair skin. Alright. Why is that hot pink? Okay.
It's very light,
Why
but
is
it's
that
like
hot?
very straight peach compared to that.
Yes. So Gucci Lorna Doone is the most beautiful color ever. So that is really the only reason that I wanted to mention it, because
Beautiful formula.
as I've moved into being very fair, having a color like this is so good. And I just love, the formula is wonderful as well. It's not a super, super, super opaque matte lip. It's a nice, like, medium creamy lipstick. It is hella expensive, but it does feel weighted and the packaging is nice, alright? It is what
We
it
clearly
is.
haven't used it all up, so.
Yeah, and I have two glosses I have to mention. Now, both of these are a little bit newer, but both of them are beyond beautiful. So, first and foremost, this one is more opaque. This is Essence 03 Milky Cocoa. Oh, that's a Okay,
Great name for that.
This is a more opaque lip gloss, and it's a gray. It's basically a gray brown kind of shade, which is like essential for my collection.
And rare to find in a brand like Essence, I feel like.
Yes, and so this is really affordable, and the formula is really pretty. It doesn't like settle into your like lines in your lips or anything like that. It's such a good shade. And then also watch it next to Kaleidos Skinny Dip.
Oh, I love that one.
Oh,
those glosses are really good.
All hail.
They kind of remind me of the ABH lip glosses.
Yes.
Like pillow.
So this is the Kaleidos gloss on the side here. It is just so flattering. It does not matter what I have on. It's just one of those lip glosses that like goes with everything. And it also goes really nice over lip liners. Like it's just opaque enough where like you can do that, you know, like unless you like the vibe of just the lip liner, not blended, but it's just opaque enough where you can kind of do that, and it's such a good everyday color. It's such I love that gloss. And that was a whole lot of talking about a whole lot of shit, but a lot of stuff. We made it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you guys have been liking. Is there any I would love to know like concealer and under eye powder recommendations. And when I say under eye powder, I'm looking for something like brightening, like the typical Kim K under eye, you know what I mean? But I'm fair, and so everything's yellow, and that's not acceptable for me. So it's new territory. I haven't like powder, but those are the two things that I'm like always listening for. Because my current combo is kind of running low. Also, a really nice solid neutral champagne highlighter I'd like to know about. Like, what's your favorite? Like, I'd like that as well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe, or do none, or just like, or just subscribe. Who used to do that? Anyway, so somebody had that in their outro. Smoky Glow. This just came to mind. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.